What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 36 of the Elephant Wire Podcast, the show we break down song lyrics and don't play you a damn second of the song because major labels are thieving babies that would sue us up the ass. This week's episode, we are dissecting the song Boys of Summer by Don Henley. Let's fucking get some!
Welcome to the Elephant Wire Podcast. Music. Drugs. Laughter. Lyrics.
What's good, everybody? Welcome to another amazing episode. I don't know if it's amazing. We haven't done it yet. I plan on doing my darndest. I hope it's an amazing episode, but we'll see. Because today we're talking about one of my favorite jams, a song that anytime this song comes on, I'm known to proclaim, not just say, proclaim, this song gets my motor running, because it does. I fucking love this song. Don Henley, original member, drummer, and co-lead vocals for the Eagles. Yes, those Eagles. Like the Eagles. Now, I am a bigger fan of The Big Lebowski than I am of most movies, so anytime the Eagles come up, I just make sure to say, I fucking hate the Eagles. I don't. I have no problem with them. I mean, yes, Hotel California is a little overplayed, but a fun fact, Don Henley was the singer for the song Hotel California. Now, I didn't even put those two together because the way he sings his solo stuff versus the way he sang when he was in the Eagles, I didn't even compare the two voices. I didn't even think of that, but Let's start diving in here. The Eagles broke up in 1980, and Dr. Henley set out on his own. He's like, I'm gonna get my own solo career going. Well, at that time, he was actually dating Stevie Nicks, and so they were writing some songs together. And by around 1982, he released his first album. And his first big single was a song called Dirty Laundry. It hit number 3 on the Billboard charts. It was the movie Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Dirty Laundry was one of the songs on that soundtrack for that movie. And it's really funny listening to a lot of those early like 80s pop rock songs. Yeah, you have bands that were doing like synthesizers and electronic music very, very well. But then you have other guys that like just kind of bounced over from rock, and they're like, "Ooh, I'm going to get into this electronic stuff." And it straight up sounds like someone who just got GarageBand on their laptop like 2 weeks ago. It's almost hokey. And whenever you like the song Dirty Laundry, I mean that's one of those songs I would definitely say like, "Oh man, those are some very innocent times whenever it comes to modulation and all of those things." It's kind of funny. But for the album we're talking about today, this is quite a list. I don't know the best way to go about this. I guess I'll just dive into it. Don Henley, when he was writing his second album that came out in 1984, I believe, which the album that our song comes off of today, he worked with members of Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. He worked with, who else we got here? Let's see. Oh, well, Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. Sorry, I lost my place in my notes here. Like I said, this song gets my motor running. I feel like I'm sitting at the beginning of the drag strip, just waiting for that light to go green. I'm so excited to get into these vocals or these lyrics. But he had Fleetwood Mac's guitarist on there. He had the lead vocalist from the Go-Go's, Belinda Carlisle. He had Randy Newman. He had Jim Kettner, Waddy Watchell. Why did I put his name down? I don't even know who the fuck that is. He had all sorts of people working on this album with him. And I guess that's one thing, when you're in the Eagles for fucking 15 years. I mean, you make some friends with some pretty upper echelon cats. I'm gonna sip my coffee to that one. But he did all this on Geffen Records, and I thought about getting into all his lawsuits and everything with Geffen Records, because fuck the man, fuck the suits. But it's a broken record, no pun intended. It's the same thing over and over and over. He writes the songs, he does all the work, the record company expects all of the funds, and he says, fuck you, you didn't do anything, I did everything. And they say, well, you signed a contract. Same thing over and over and over and over and over. It is what it is. But our song today comes off of his second album that came out in 1984. It is an album called Building the Perfect Beast, which is a great album name, especially when I hear that album name, I think of like a metal band, like maybe some doom metal, Building the Perfect Beast, or I don't know, maybe even some stoner metal. I don't know, maybe, probably not though. But yeah, to then listen to this album, yeah, oh, it's a very different beast than what I was picturing. But but our song today is track 1 of 11 off of that album, Building the Perfect Beast. And actually, our song today, it hit number 5 on the Billboard Hot 100 whenever it came out. And he went to the MTV Video Music Awards that year. And with the music video for this song, Boys of Summer, and he won Best Video of the Year in 1980. Well, if the album came out in 1984, that'd be 1985 that he won Best Video of the Year. He also took home a Grammy Award for this song for Best Male Rock Vocal Performance. Just fucking getting some. And one of the coolest things about this song was Mike Campbell, who's the guitarist for Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. He around this time, 1982, 1983, somewhere in there, he had gotten himself like a 4-track drum machine. And he started fucking around with it and playing around and trying different sounds and seeing how things were going. And he came up with this drum pattern, and he thought it was really cool. And he showed it to someone who showed it to someone. And then word makes it back to him, hey, Don Henley wants to use that in his upcoming record. So they get on the phone with each other and they're talking, and Don Henley's like, yeah, I really like it. In fact, I don't want to change anything. I like it exactly how it sounds right now. Don't touch it. And they get together and they record the song that we're talking about today. And even in the writing process, I mean, like Mike Campbell, like I said, the guitarist of Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, there were a couple times in the article I was reading where he wanted to change something up, oh, we should do this different, and Don Henley was like, nope, it's perfect. You did it the first time, even to the point where the sound engineer was like, there's a couple things we have to change just so things sound better. Don Henley was like, fine. Because the second he heard it, he absolutely loved it. He wanted to keep it exactly the way it was. But our song today comes in at 4 minutes 48 seconds. It is a fantastic jam. Like I said, I mean, this song just makes me want to get behind the wheel of some big, giant, huge, long Lincoln Continental or something that gets about 8 miles to the gallon and just cruise the 101 in California. That's exactly what this song makes me want to do. And the things it makes me picture, the memories it makes me think, that even as we start going through the lyrics, we'll get even deeper into this. But I love this song. It's a great jam. I'm excited to start getting into these lyrics. Let's do it. Nobody on the road, nobody on the beach. I feel it in the air, the summer's out of reach. Empty lake, empty streets, the sun goes down alone. I'm driving by your house, though I know you're not home. But I can see you, your brown skin shining in the sun. You got your hair combed back and your sunglasses on, baby. And I can tell you, my love for you will still be strong after the boys of summer have gone. I never will forget those nights. I wonder if it was a dream. Remember how you made me crazy? Remember how I made you scream? Now, I don't understand what happened to our love, but babe, I'm gonna get you back. I'm gonna show you what I'm made of. And I can see you, your brown skin shining in the sun. I see you walking real slow and smiling at everyone. I can tell you my love for you will still be strong after the boys of summer have gone. Out on the road today, I saw a deadhead sticker on a Cadillac. A little voice inside my head said, "Don't look back. You can never look back." I thought I knew what love was. What did I know? Those days are gone forever. I should just let them go, but I can see you. Your brown skin shining in the sun. You got the top pulled down and the radio on, baby. I can tell you my love for you will still be strong after the boys of summer have gone. I can see you, your brown skin shining in the sun. You got your hair slicked back and those Wayfarers on, baby. I can tell you my love for you will still be strong after the boys of summer have gone. Fucking A. I love it. I love it. I've shared this multiple times. My wife and I, we lived in San Diego, California for a little bit. And anytime I hear this song, like those first couple chords that come through, the way the guitar is used, I mean, this was really popular in the 80s. The way the guitar was used to kind of emulate whale sounds. I mean, a lot of electronic music during that time was doing that, and it absolutely, when you hear like a guitar that's being used, or even making the seagull noise, that someone playing, just you got the pedal board just going insane, all the modulation, all of those sounds that are being created are literally putting you into this just specific place in time. Almost to the point, I mean, like, so these first couple lines, nobody on the road, nobody on the beach. I feel it in the air, the summer's out of reach. When you grow up in the Midwest, and it starts to become fall, there's a certain smell outside. There's like the wet asphalt, the crunchy leaves. There's all those feelings that kind of come into it. And multiple songs that relay that feeling. This feeling here, whenever it's coming into like this time of year, September, October, and you go down to the beach, it's a different smell. It's a different feel in the air. It's a little bit cooler breeze. You're not rocking just shorts and that's it. You're not just rocking the bathing suit. You might have some pants on and maybe a hoodie. And that's what he's talking. The summer's out of reach. And once again, I mean, like the rhythm and the melody of this song fucking perfectly captures that emotion. Perfectly. Like, you can imagine the empty beach, the smell, the temperature, the air, the season changing. Like, where 3 months ago you went to that beach and there was just like a whole bunch of pasty white people, and now they're leaving the beach looking like lobsters because they're in town from, Minneapolis or wherever they're from. Now you're on this beach and it's empty. Fire pits sitting vacant and a parking lot that was full of people and tents and sunscreen, and now the summer's out of reach. And he says, empty lake, empty streets, the sun goes down alone. I'm driving by your house, though I know you're not home. Now, as we continue going through this song, when we get all the way to the end, we'll kind of wrap it up. But as we go through each of these choruses, like that we're about to get to, each of these verses and the choruses, it seems as if it's talking about one specific person. And so right here, I'm driving by your house, though I know you're not home. Maybe she doesn't live there anymore. Maybe it's for another reason. Maybe he knows she's at work or something like that. But his way of saying this, it shows that he was really only after trying to feel something again. I'm driving back by your house, though I know you're not home. He wasn't even there to see her. That's not even why he was driving past that house. He's trying to recultivate memory. And that's what this entire song is about, is trying to recultivate memory. Because we get to that first chorus, I can see you, your brown skin shining in the sun. One of those girls that just every single day of the summer, she's down at the beach sunbathing, throwing on the oils, getting that good bikini tan, maybe untying it when she flips over on her belly. Just all the awesome things that the beach in the summertime brings when you're young. And he said, the first chorus, he says, you got your hair combed back and your sunglasses on, baby. And as we keep going through the song, too, all the choruses change, the different memory that he has of her. So in this first one, she's got her hair combed back. And he ends the chorus by saying, I can tell you my love for you will still be strong after the boys of summer is gone. Now, this song always makes me think of those kids that grow up in vacation towns. They grow up in Lake Tahoe. They grow up in San Diego. They grow up all these different, Myrtle Beach, all these different places. There's people that actually live there all year round. And so this makes me think of a girl that wants to keep her options open. During the school year, she might have her boyfriend or whatever it is. But the second summer rolls around, she knows she's got a whole crop of beefcakes come rolling through town. So she wants to keep her options open. And honestly, good for her. Why the fuck not? You're young. Have some fun. You got a group of beefcakes that's rolling through. They're in town from Maine, and then the very next week you got a crop of beefcakes that's coming in from Daytona. Just wherever it is. I respect that. I really do. When we get in that second verse, I never will forget those nights. I wonder if it was a dream. This is a really interesting thought process here because I'm sure there's things even in your life. I know there's things in my life where that memory is so distant that sometimes whenever you start to think about that memory, it almost takes on the qualities of a dream. And everything becomes really fuzzy. And you're trying, you have this memory and you're trying to see it again in your mind and trying to remember where things were and how things worked out. And it just, because it's been so long, you've lost a lot of those fine points of what actually happened. And it starts to take on that feeling of a dream. And he says in these next couple lines, remember how you made me crazy. Remember how I made you scream. Now, at first glance, just because my mind's in the gutter and just the first place I went, I think that they were banging, and he gave her just an crazy comatose orgasm. He made her scream. However, when we take both lines together and just the point of what this verse is talking about in general, here's what's actually happening here. Remember how you made me crazy. Remember how I made you scream. This summer when they were together, and they were spending time together, it got to the point where they both brought out the worst sides of each other. Remember how you made me crazy? Maybe she made him jealous. Maybe she made him feel inadequate. Whatever the reason is, he got it. Just how many times have I said it on this podcast? A heterosexual man in love is one of the dumbest creatures on the fucking planet. He went crazy. He didn't know what was going on anymore. He went caveman. Just like he doesn't even know what the fuck's happening. And then remember how I made you scream? The way that he says that, it's almost like this is a girl that never lost her cool, that never lost her temper. But because they both brought the worst down in each other, it brought her all the way to the point where she was screaming at him in this argument that they're having. And he follows it up the next couple lines here. Now, I don't understand what happened to our love. Which is interesting, that right after this, he says, I don't even know what brought us to that point. I don't even know how we ended up there. Like, how did we end up bringing out the worst in each other? He's still, years later. But he says right after, but babe, I'm going to get you back. I'm going to show you what I'm made of. That feeling of trying to assess what happened and only just coming up clueless. And this may play into what those first couple lines were. I never will forget those nights. I wonder if it was a dream. Obviously, whenever I look back, and this is something I think of one of the earliest episodes when we were talking about Same Drugs by Chance the Rapper, where he's talking about someone that he either used to date or was really good friends with, and just only wanting to remember the good times, only wanting to remember how much he enjoyed their company. And that only makes sense now as Don Henley's talking about looking back, and when he thinks it's all a dream, obviously the things that are going to stick out are the things that were fun, the good times. And so to say, I don't even understand what happened to our love, because when he thinks about it, all they had was good times together. How'd they end up there? And we got our next chorus here. I can see you, your brown skin shining in the sun. She's all bronze. She's been tanning. And in this verse, he says, I see you walking real slow and smiling at everyone. And that's a beautiful memory to have of someone. Whenever you think back of someone, to remember that a good chunk of their character, a good chunk of the person that they are, is they're walking down the street and just brightening everyone's day as they go past. That's beautiful. That's an awesome memory to have of someone. And he says, I can tell you my love for you will still be strong after the boys of summer have gone. And then there's an awesome like instrumental breakdown where that's whenever the guitar is doing the seagulls and everything drops out. And then whenever it goes into the third verse, it's a lot more stripped down. And he's singing a little quieter because this is now years later. And he says, out on the road today, I saw a Deadhead sticker on a Cadillac. Now, I work with a guy that swears to God that he actually was in California one time and saw a Deadhead sticker on a Cadillac and is just dead certain that he saw the same one that Don Henley saw, because it's actually a true story. I have a quote here from Don Henley. He says, I was driving down the San Diego freeway and got passed by a $21,000 Cadillac Seville. Now, if that doesn't date the statement, I don't know what does. Imagine buying a brand new Cadillac for 21 grand and then throwing a fucking Deadhead sticker on it. But anyway, Don Henley continues. He says, the status symbol of the right-wing, upper middle class, American, just bourgeois, if you will. And he says all the guys with the blue blazers with the crests and the pants. And then there was a Grateful Dead Deadhead sticker on the bumper. And it just completely threw him for a loop. He saw it and went, what? What is happening here? And he continues on in the lyrics, and he just kind of snaps back. He says, a little voice inside my head said, don't look back, you can never look back. He can't help him. He realizes he needs to move on with his fucking life. He's living in the past, man. He needs to move forward. He's spending so much of his life just sitting there considering what was. And he continues by saying, I thought I knew what love was. What did I know? Those days are gone forever. I should just let them go, but... Like, he thought he was in love in his youth. He really did. And now as he's gotten older, it really only amplifies the ignorance of his youth. You know, that young love. Thinking that young love is so perfect. To then realize how many more elements truly go into it. I mean, I've been madly in love with my wife for a long time, but I feel like every single year I look back on the last one, I'm like, damn, I didn't know anything. I'm still figuring this shit out. But the way he ends that verse by saying, I should just let them go, talking about the memories that he has of this girl. I should just let them go, but I can see you. Your brown skin shining in the sun. In this verse, he says, you got the top pulled down and the radio on, baby. Yet another memory that he has of her just probably cruising that same San Diego freeway, cruising the 101. You know, maybe flying up the 5, just along the water there. He's got a memory of her with the top down, her hair blowing in the wind. You know, it's a beautiful memory to have of someone that you were once in love with. Looking over at them. I mean, how many music videos have used that shot? How many movies have used that shot? How many TV shows have used that shot? How many of us in our head have pictured that girl? And that's what we see. The top's down, her hair's blowing in the wind. The sun's kind of shining. The sun's going down, but it's coming through the trees at her. How could he not live in the past when he has that memory of her? And then right after this one, we have another chorus when he says, I can see your brown skin shine in the sun. You got your hair slicked back and those wayfarers on, baby. You know, these memories, as he sits here just thinking and thinking and thinking, they're getting more and more pointed. You know, when you dwell on a memory, as you sit there and think about it, the more you dwell on it, the more you consider it, the more you like almost just like feast on all those little pieces that you have, more and more of it starts to come back, and you start to remember more and more things to the point that he now remembers the exact sunglasses she was wearing. And these last two lines, this is where we're going to kind of spend a minute in kind of our final closing thoughts here. I can tell you my love for you will still be strong after the boys of summer have gone. Now, like I said when we were going through the first chorus in this song, that I just think of that girl that likes to keep her options open every summer. New crop of beefcakes rolling through town. She's not going to tie herself up to the boy who lives in the same town as her. No, she's going to see what's up, what's out there, what's going on. Why wouldn't she? But there's another school of thought that we should take into account, especially now that we've gone over this entire song. And it's the point of, if we look at our lives as seasons, if we look at our lives in maybe not even year to year, but just different points in our life as seasons. And if we look at what would be a season of our life that was summer, maybe it was a time when we had a good job, we had a great apartment, we had good friends at the time, every weekend we were hanging out, having a blast. Versus maybe like a winter season of our lives where we maybe battled depression. Maybe we got audited by the IRS, got in a car accident, whatever the case may be. When we look at our lives as seasons, and hopefully I didn't piss anyone off that winter's their favorite season or whatever it is. That's not my point. I just mean it in the sense of like the easy times versus the difficult times. You're not shoveling snow in fucking July. At least not in the U.S. But whenever Don Henley sang to this girl, after the boys of summer have gone, what he's saying to her is his love will still be strong. He will still care just as much about her when she is going through those difficult seasons, when she's going through the tough times. He's not just going to be there during the summer when the top's down, he's got the sunglasses on, life's easy, cruising the San Diego freeways. He's saying that even when those things are not around, when the beaches are empty, he'll be there. And I think that's a really beautiful way to confess your love to someone, by using a very specific example, because he's talking about this young love. He's talking to a very specific person, and he's even talking about maybe even a very specific summer. But he's using it as kind of a catalyst and as a jumping off point to really make his full point known. Before I went through this song, like I said, I just thought of a girl that was keeping her options open, and he was kind of butthurt about it because, he's madly in love with this girl he's going to school with, but every summer she's just waiting on a new crop of beefcakes. Can't blame her. But now that I've actually gone through this song and actually kind of dwelled on it for a few days and did some more research, I actually love this song even more now, and it's even more beautiful to me whenever I listen to it. And I really can you close your eyes and you got the headphones on, and you just picture yourself in that moment and in that place and time and the smells and the air and the sunlight and everything. Beautiful jam, beautiful jam. But it is now time for the local band spotlight, and this week we have a band called Bigwyn. Now, Bigwyn, we don't have a whole big spiel paragraph long bio. These boys are short and sweet and to the point, because what they do is just make baller fucking tunes. I've been listening, so they just released a full album, 12 tracks. They just released it, like 3 days ago or something. So the day this episode comes out is the 20th. This album came out on the 17th. It's fucking awesome. Like, actually, the second I turned it on and started listening to it, I was like, these guys remind me of Free Throw. I don't know if anyone out there has ever listened to the band Free Throw. Great band from Nashville. I've seen them a couple times. Fantastic boys. We'll definitely be doing one of their songs on the podcast at some point. Who knows when, but we will, because they're great guys. But the second I threw on Bigwyn's new album, it's called Southern Cuts, I was like, holy shit, these guys kind of remind me of Free Throw. They're getting some. But they're called Bigwyn, Bigwyn. They're an alternative rock band from southern New Hampshire, Massachusetts area. They've been described as this generation's new band. With their guitar playing, drum playing, bass playing, and singing, they're sure to be music. Bigwyn is made up of Ian on vocals and guitar, Chris on guitar, Alexander on drums, and Jack on bass. Boys, keep making music. Keep getting some, because you are on to something. You really are. Every local band that we have on this podcast, I really want to see them succeed, and I really want to see them go places. And not everyone has the same jumping off point. We all have different talents. We're all in different genres. We all have different desires. We all have different end games. Bigwyn is one of those bands. Last season we had a couple of them too. Bigwyn is one of those bands where, like, I cannot wait to see where these cats go. Like, their career is going places. And I am so glad that we are able to have them as the local band spotlight this week. Fucking A, boys. Get some. Keep fucking getting some. Because, like, things are moving and shaking. They have a really raw sound. You can tell they have tons of passion. The way their singer is singing. What's his name? Ian. The way Ian is singing, he's just fucking getting some. So keep at it, boys. We've added their song "All Right" to our running Spotify playlist, Local Bands That Don't Suck. It'll be the very last song, seeing as how it was the newest that was added. Bigwyn, good folks. Check them out on Spotify, Apple Music. They're all over the place. Get some. And if you like what we do here at the local band spot, at the local band spot, Jeebus Crimbus. If you like what we do here at the Elephant Wire Podcast, check us out at anchor.fm/the Elephant Wire Podcast. You can support us monthly. You can go to our website, theelephantwire.com. We have some merch. We got a new sticker, a black circle sticker. We got a white circle sticker. We got middle finger stickers. You can show your love there. We got a t-shirt that's still up there, a long sleeve pocket tee, so you can show everybody that things are looking good. I actually, not terribly long ago, was going through TSA at an airport wearing mine because I hadn't done laundry, and I just grabbed one on the way out the door and lady behind me in line, I thought she was going to ask for me to take it off because it says fucking Hail Satan on it. And TSA was like, yeah, just go through. And I was like, damn, that would have been so good if they would have made me take it off. That would have been fucking awesome. But thanks for tuning in this week. We got an exciting episode next week as well. Hoping to have a guest next week. I don't want to say a whole lot about it, but Bigwyn, local band spotlight, good cats. Keep getting some, boys. I'm fucking loving it. Southern Cuts is their new album. That's all we got here for you this week. Fuck the man. Hail Satan. Hug your mom. We'll catch you. Peace.